Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Misa Sanvar. I hope everybody is doing fine and happy at their place. As you know, today is Monday and the start of the week. So we actually start off with education as our main core. We have our show Reimaging Education with us, and in this show we talk about to different educationists, different people that are related to the education field, how much they have advanced, how much advancement they are bringing in this field. Today I have a very special guest with me, Sir Adeel Durvesh. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum Assalam. I'm good. How about you?
I'm fine as well. Sir Adeel Durvesh is actually the principal and founder of PAC College Karachi, the first entrepreneurship college of Pakistan. He's a corporate trainer, entrepreneurship mentor for British Council faculty at Greenwich University and TSA. You are an RJ FM 88.6 as well. So, sir, you tell me, how are you and how's everything going?
Everything is going fine, mashallah. The new year has started wonderfully well, and 2020 has been really an opportunistic year for me.
So that's something very unique that you're talking about. Tell me more about how has 2020 been opportunistic for you?
During the 2020, we have explored different projects. One of which you have already mentioned, is known as the PACE College of Advanced Studies, which is the first entrepreneurship college of Pakistan. Since I've been teaching entrepreneurship in university since last couple of years, and I realized that this is not a subject which should be taught at a university level, which should be introduced slightly at a lower level, maybe college or a school level, because this is a career which should be where students should be enlightened to adopt for. But in case of the Pakistan, that the situation is the upside down. We have not been moving out of the course books during the school time and the college time. So we start the college, the first entrepreneurship college of Pakistan, which is PACE, in August 2020. And other than this, I've started one more venture of my organization, which is the Learning Byte, where we are facilitating the corporate sector with the digital videos and the e-learning content. And last but not the least, one more thing which I have initiated during this year is one more company known as the Tech Talk, which is the digital marketing agency as well.
So talking about TED Talk, I haven't seen much about it. Can you explain that? That's a very good initiative, and that can actually provide more opportunities for the educationists around as well. They can actually collaborate with you. They will have more, more collaborative techniques, more communication. What should I say? Bridges would be stopped out. Talk about that, please.
Tech Talk is basically a company which is facilitating mainly the small and medium term enterprises, where they'll be getting the one window solution to empower their communication systems, and along with the communication, their digital presence. Because during this pandemic, a lot of organization has shifted online. So from the platform of the Tech Talk, we are empowering basically the SMEs and the ones who cannot afford it or who have comparatively lower budgets. So we are making the different type of videos, e-learning content, and more importantly, we are ensuring their social media presence across all the digital platforms.
So, sir, talking about the idea about learning content and how much now online learning has taken a complete shift. I would say in 1 year there's been a dynamic change in e-learning, and now everybody sees. Now even the researchers that are doing now, we see that they're happening in e-learning or in technology, or how we can incorporate technology, how ICT is so much important in studies. So what was your idea? What was your initiative? That so this I had this focus, that's why we wanted to have this platform for everyone.
I would like to add one more thing over here. Under the umbrella of the Tech Talk, we have developed our own Zoom, which is the Pakistani version of the Zoom. And in addition to the features available, which has been offered by the Zoom, what we are doing it, we have offered two important features. Number one is creating a window within the window where you can get the access of the internet while using and or talking to the audience. And second thing, what we are working on, which is in the pilot phase, is to have the translation of a talk. Because in case of the Pakistani market, mainly people have been using the Urdu as a medium of instructions while doing even the meeting. But sometimes if you have the foreigner or person of any other language, so that person should be having an option to see what that what that meeting meant about. So you'll be having the minutes in multiple languages at the bottom of that screen. So soon that product of vMeeto will be available in the marketplace somewhere in the end of January.
So talking about multiple languages, do I see Urdu in it as well?
Yes.
That's amazing. That's something really nice, because I believe that somehow our first language always gets a little back cited, and I believe that it's going to initiate more, what should I say, advancement in Urdu. So
And,
talking
and the
about,
main problem, and the main problem I would highlight over here is that in case when you use the Zoom, you have the security issue, especially when you're doing confidential meeting. So in case, in place of that security issue, what we are doing it, we are providing the secured environment where you can just switch off your connection and nobody can access your data, whatever you talked about during a meeting. So it's a sort of a closed
oh,
environment.
oh, okay. That's something that I am not even aware of when it comes to technology. That okay, how can you switch off something and start off with a meeting? So I'll definitely ask you more about that when I'm going to, introduce it. So talking about the career in entrepreneurship, I believe that teachers like you who are actually working on it and actually making more and more opportunities available for the students, it's a very, very big and enhanced career, and people don't understand it. Somehow they believe that entrepreneurship is only for the people who have big bank balance, or somebody who just knows who has their family in business. They can only do that. So talk about that. How much do you believe that, so no, so this entrepreneurship is a complete different thing, and people need to have a different aspect?
It's not a subject which should be taught, rather than it's a subject which should be learned through the experiences over the years. The problem in our society is that we have never introduced such type of subjects at an earlier grade. And more importantly, when you talk about the entrepreneurship, it's not about you need to start your business or you should be starting a business at any future point in time. Rather, the more important thing is that you need to have the entrepreneurial mindset. If you'll be having the entrepreneurial mindset, irrespective you're working for the corporate sector, you're working for your own organization, you will definitely be excelling in your projects, whatever you're doing it. Number one. And number two, the second most important thing, while running the entrepreneurial journey or even making the careers in the entrepreneurship, Jack Ma has very rightly pointed out that learn at the expense of others. At least you need to work for the corporate sector for good 2 to 3 years so that you get the aroma or the experience of that environment, how your entrepreneurial setting should look like. Unfortunately, we directly either jump in, maybe in the entrepreneurship when we get the failure, or it's the other way around that we have been working for the corporate sector for years, but and ignoring our wish list or our inner willingness. I suggest that we should go hand in hand, parallel. Both careers can be taken together, subject to what's the trade-off. You do it between time and money. You have it.
That's so true. If I talk about, the idea that people should actually go, I always talk about it again and again, and we have talked about it a lot of the times that, until you don't become a part of the practical world, you would never understand what ups and downs are you going to face when you're going to go in your, career. It can be any career I talk about. So talking about the ups and downs in careers, or, how people actually go in a field and they experiment in it, and then afterwards they, learn from it. What are those 4 to 5 things that you believe that's in this right now when I am a graduate student, for example? You want me to understand that. You want me to engrave that in my mind. That's these are the 5 things you guys will be facing ahead. Get ready for this challenge and set your goals such a way that if one thing doesn't work out, you always have a plan B. There's always the biggest flaw I would say in our market sector is that our students are given so much less opportunity that they don't understand that there can be more things that can come up. They can actually experiment more. So
I would
ये
like
बड़ा जरूरी है.
absolutely 100% sure. I would like to highlight 3 to 4 points, the biggest mistakes what we do it or what should be learned before starting the entrepreneurial journey. Never make your best friends your partners. Kabhi bhi nahi. Not at all. The biggest mistake what we do it, we take our best friend along with us and we make the partners in a business. But in fact, instead of the finding the friends and making them a partner, you need to go for finding the like-minded people who have the same vision as you carry. Number two, in case when you're planning to start the entrepreneurship, make sure that do what you are get good at. Make sure you identify your core competency, and then you pursue your entrepreneurial journey at which you are an expert or you are very good at. And third, and the most important thing of the entrepreneurial journey is that, okay, whenever you are running your business, make sure that you need to have a mentor available with you. If you have the right mentor, that mentorship is needed at every phase of entrepreneurship. Even if I am running my entrepreneurial journey since last 5 years, I still need the mentorship, because realignment of the wheels of the car is a continuous process. It's not possible that you realign the wheel once and in future it will go on for continuous long time period. This pandemic has made us learn that we need to, number one, have the mentors. Number two, we need to redefine our business model again and again if you seriously want to progress in life. So these three are the key takeaways which I think is important before you start or during your entrepreneurship journey which you carry.
Talking about different ideas that you just gave us, and one of the biggest pointer that I would pick over here is that usually what we as students believe is हम सब बैठ के पूरा प्लान बनाते हैं कि हम ये करेंगे और फिर हमारे सब दोस्ती मिलके बनाते हैं एंड दिस इज समथिंग वेरी वेरी व्हाट शुड आई से हाईलाइटिंग कि आपने बोला दैट यू शुड नॉट हैव योर फ्रेंड्स विद यू व्हाई आई वांट यू टू डिफाइन दिस मोर कि क्यों व्हाई शुड आई नॉट डू दैट
Because with friends you have different sort of a bonding, different sort of personal relationship. On the contrary, in case of your entrepreneurship journey, you have the business relationship. There are two factors to it. Number one, the bonding you have with the person with whom you will be dealing with or you'll be working with. And number two, and the most important thing is that, okay, when you are friends based on some certain competency which you have in common with your friends, certain traits which you have common in your friends. But in case of the entrepreneurship journey, you need to have the partners with the different skill set, so that you meet the different requirements which is needed for your project or for your organization for which you are running the business.
I do believe that. I do think that एक बड़ा आपने नया perspective सर मेरे लिए खोला because ऐसा होता था कि जब मैं whenever I used to think about my business, I used to always have certain people in my mind. Okay, I'm gonna hire this person, hire that person. But now when you're giving me, I can understand that. Okay, fine. Even I talk about how much discourse is different when I meet my friends, or how much discourse is different when I meet my mentors or the people around me. It's totally a different thing. It's not something that we see every time, and we have to actually come up with a more formal approach.
I would like to add one thing, Sundos, if you allow me over here.
Yeah,
This
please.
is a problem. For example, students are pursuing in the computer sciences and they are working on some maybe tech-based startup.
Hmm.
They all friends or all group members might be very good
Hmm.
in the techie stuff, जो
Hmm.
technological related जो है challenges है, but they must be very weak in the business intelligence or business acumen. So even I suggest most of the time, still no university have adopted yet, that entrepreneurship is a course which should be introduced multidisciplinary, because
Okay.
people from computer sciences, management sciences, engineering background, social sciences should be blended together so that they understand how this mindset works. If I'm good at
Hmm.
convincing people, maybe I'm very bad in managing the technology. Or maybe if
Hmm.
I'm very good in managing the technology, I don't know how to sell my product. So if you have the multidisciplinary, then definitely that makes a good mix, and obviously the probability of the success of your business increases.
That's so true. I that's something that right now, if I'm thinking about it, multidisciplinary is something that we can actually do because I am a linguistic student, but I believe that how I can work well with applications will only be possible if I know a computer science student with me who can actually tell me so this application can actually stand up for your understanding for linguistics. I totally agree to that. So the opportunities ahead, if I talk about uh, अब मैं entrepreneurship में चली गई हूँ and I want to pursue this and I've started up with my career. What are those opportunities that I can actually look forward to? Or in Pakistan especially, I want to talk about the context when it comes to Pakistan.
United Nations has stated that almost 65% of the youth, 65% of the population is youth in Pakistan. If you talk about the youth, it starts from the age of 14 till 29, and some definition says it's 24, 14 to 20, 34 or 35. So point is that okay, whatever products you will be needing it for that age bracket, you have the opportunity. Either you talk
Hmm.
about technology, you talk about the education, you talk about the medicine, you talk about the food as a society. Every time is a good time. Opportunity is always there. The only problem is that we need to have the lens to see that opportunity and capitalize that opportunity. Idea or bringing the idea is not a big game. Executing the idea differently matters the most. Opportunities हमेशा होती हैं, पहले भी थी, अभी भी थी, हैं और आगे भी रहेंगी. We have seen a lot of business growing in the past but
Hmm.
dying at present. But we are seeing a lot of businesses growing at present which were not valuable in the past. And the statistics says that Fortune 500 companies in the next 5 years, 90% of the companies will be those who do not exist in the world. अभी तक आई नहीं है वो. So if there's a 90% probability, so you can calculate the percentage of the opportunities lying around us.
That's so true. That's so true. That's really big, I would say. 90, that was a very big figure. Uh, so talking about the opportunities, देखिए अब मसला ये है opportunities भी हमें पता चल जाती हैं. हम लोग को पता होता है the career is actually very vast as well. We can actually talk about all of us together. But सर जो मसला आता है that is the limited opportunities we have in Pakistan. You are holding an organization that is within Pakistan. तो what are those opportunities जो आपको लगता है कि we can actually grasp for and say that we can actually work on for and say give us some tips that so this these following businesses can actually
Pehli
excel.
cheez I would like to highlight over here, we do not have limited opportunities. It's the mindset we think that there are limited opportunities. We have
That's another thing.
unlimited opportunity. Number one. Number two thing is that you need to do two things to to have an outreach to that opportunity. वहां तक पहुंचने के लिए. Number one
Hmm.
is communicate with people. You need to
Hmm.
make friends. You need to meet like-minded people. You need to communicate. You need to do networking because your network is your ultimate net worth. You
That's so
automatically that snowball will go on. Snowball effect will go on. Third and the most important thing is that take the feedback from the people. Unfortunately, as a society, we have not been trained to accept the feedback. हमें कोई feedback देता है, we feel like कि हमें criticize कर रहा है. नहीं भाई, वो
true.
criticize नहीं कर रहा. They are giving you the feedback. Obviously,
True.
you have few ears, you can filter out the feedback, but at least do listen. We are the society, holistically not generalizing, but most of the time that we want to speak more and listen less, and that's the main problem where we miss out our opportunities. And don't overthink, last but not the least, don't overthink on the ideas or opportunities which you feel like, "Okay, shall I do it or shall I not do it?" Calculate your opportunity cost and just jump in, I would say.
That's very nice. I think that's a very good advice when I talk about entrepreneurship or any career. I would say that once your mindset changes, everything changes. You need to understand that what is good for you, and अगर वो माइंडसेट में ही बात बैठ जाती है जैसे आपने मुझे बताया सिंधुस यू नीड टू eradicate दिस की अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है तो वो बहुत ज़रूरी है एंड वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कि वो जो माइंडसेट है वो चेंज होना चाहिए.
संतोष, यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज आपकी बात में ऐड करना चाहूंगा. देर आर टू टर्मिनोलॉजीज विच वी यूज इट. नंबर वन इज नोन एज फेयर. फेयर इज दैट थिंग जो वी जो हमें पता नहीं होता है, विच इज ऑलमोस्ट नेगेटिव coming up our way, or which we think that is negative, that arises the
True.
fear. But on
True.
the contrary, if I'll believe myself and I'll believe my business idea, and I foresee it as a positive thing coming my way, so that fear will automatically convert to faith. I haven't met my Almighty yet, but I know that I have a faith in the Lord. चाहे God है,
Hmm.
Allah है, भगवान है, जो भी है. So point is that always go for faith rather than go for a fear and making you further negative, and जो आपके बाकी काम हो रहे होते हैं वो भी खराब करते हैं उसकी वजह से.
That's so true. That's a very good ending note, I would say. Okay, fear over faith, or faith over fear. Sir, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And आपने बहुत, I know, limited time अपना time दिया. Thank you so much. How was your experience with the live sessions that we're having in Grit University?
It was a tough one, I must say, because hosting the radio show is comparatively easy. Asking the question others is comparatively easy. By the way, you made me so much comfortable and you did a very brilliant job. And I must say, being a young talent, keep it up.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. Your appreciation and the teachers' appreciation means a lot to me, and it's all due to my mentors that how much they have actually done for me. Uh, this was Sir Adeel Durvesh for us, and he's actually working with Greenwich University and other universities as well. His main idea about entrepreneurship was our understanding and the eradication of the understanding that how much we have changed our thinking. We actually think of a capsule and then we just stay inside that capsule. We need to, hinder and stop that the capsule and go forward in our life. The idea of Greenwich University bringing forward different educationists is for you to understand how much important it is that education has advanced and how much counseling that can be done around the globe. Now, this is just a little giveaway to what the society has been giving to Greenwich University. Our whole idea of bringing other educationists forward is to make everybody understand that education never stops, learning never stops. It's just how we take it and how we make forward and our way with it. This is me, Sinvar, from Greenwich University, signing off with the thought that, as Sir said, that your faith should be more profound, that your fear actually eliminates it all. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day. Allah Hafiz.